Most people think if you want the Austin lifestyle, you have to live in Austin, or at least pick one of the loud, obvious suburbs right on the edge of Austin. But Georgetown, Texas is one of those places that quietly pulls people in because it feels like a real town first, not just a place to sleep. And the downtown core, it's not just a gimmick. It's been an official Texas Main Street city since 1982. And that courthouse, well, it was finished in 1911. So you can feel the identity the second you get downtown. When you look at how Georgetown is laid out and how people actually live here, a clear story starts to show up. That's why I'm going to show you in this full Georgetown driving tour why Georgetown feels like a town you use every day. I'm going to show you some visual anchors that show what daily life feels like around here. And we're going to look at neighborhood pockets that you need to understand. Now we're starting here because I really like this particular spot because I start my walks and end them here quite often. I'm Stuart Sutton, a Georgetown, Texas real estate broker, have been for over 30 years. Help families relocate and move within Georgetown, and I help them buy in order to match their day-to-day life. So we're going to take a look at the reasons people love Georgetown. Again, we're going to start in here, actually even take a break here. Okay, so we are actually approaching downtown Georgetown. This is one of the scenes that people just love to see because it is part of what makes Georgetown the town that it is. Gives it the personality, gives it the core. As we travel through downtown Georgetown, we're going to make the circle from the square. We're going to do it looking at the side, and then we're going to do it looking at the courthouse. So as we travel along here, you'll see that there are lots of shops, boutiques, restaurants. There are coffee shops, but we're in downtown Georgetown, and it is as quaint as it claims to be. It is not typically crowded. On the weekend, there are tourists that come constantly, but it never seems to be overcrowded. And you can see the different shops that we're passing. You can see the sidewalks, people meandering up and down. So the downtown square has a lot of opportunities, no matter whether you're a local or you're visiting from out of town. And then I'm going to turn around so you can actually see the courthouse itself. As we go off of the square very slightly, we're going to come back to the square. So this may seem a little trite, but this is considered to be off the square. And there's a little restaurant right here called Georgie's that my wife and I will be going to with our gift certificate that we got for Christmas. But there are lots of different kinds of businesses located around here. This is where a farmer's market in one of these parking lots takes place. There's another restaurant right there, Blue Corn Harvest, that is quite popular and has really good reviews. So as I approach the square, you can probably see the courthouse because of the angle of the camera. You can see that the square, again, is just as quaint and pretty and has been voted the most beautiful town square in Texas repeatedly. And everything from sub sandwich shops to fine dining are located right here on the square. Now we'll also show you some of the housing right around the downtown area. This is something that we never thought we'd see in Georgetown, and that is people asking for walkability. Walkability is not something we ever really considered or thought of or heard of until we started seeing the downtown area get revitalized. There are constantly homes that are being remodeled. Very high-end remodelers doing a great job with homes around the downtown area. And there's no doubt that you will see homes that have not been remodeled. In Georgetown, there's a limited amount of space available, a limited number of homes available. You'll see some homes that have been remodeled, some homes that have not. So as we travel along here, you can see that there are homes that are quite expensive. Homes in this area around downtown and close to downtown can be anywhere from $250 to $500 plus per square foot. But you can see you've got small one-story homes and you've got very large, extensive one-story homes and two-story homes as well. And what's neat about a lot of these homes is a lot of them have casitas or garage apartments, which makes it nice because they're also very close to Southwestern University. Southwestern University is about 1,400 to 1,500 in enrollment. Now, the downtown area real estate market is still pretty good. And what I mean by that is it's not like it was in the years when everything was flying off the market. There's about a 5-month supply of homes on the market in downtown area. We are approaching and entering San Gabriel Park. It is 180 acres of, well, fun. There's everything you could want in a park out here. There's a community center. There are pavilions for gatherings. There are places for events. The park is just, there's some amazing trees, as you'll see as we drive by. We just passed one. It is really just a focal point in Georgetown. San Gabriel River runs right along the park. They have events here like the Two-Step Inn, which draws about 70,000 people from outside of Georgetown. Now, one thing that's really cool about San Gabriel Park is that the trail system that runs throughout Georgetown, Texas, actually runs through the park as well. Now, another part of San Gabriel Park are the activities. You have baseball fields, you have soccer fields. Now, one more pretty cool thing about San Gabriel Park is that it also has the rec center. Now, the rec center isn't officially part of San Gabriel Park, but the rec center is a City of Georgetown amenity. It's a very extensive fitness center. I don't remember the fees right off the top of my head, but I pretty much guarantee you it is less than what a typical fitness center would be, because that's part of the draw in Georgetown, is to provide this type of facility for citizens of Georgetown so you don't have to go join a private facility. Now, of course, it might take a few minute drive to get there rather than it being immediately in the neighborhood. But depending on the neighborhood you want to live in, the type of lifestyle you want to lead, that rec center can certainly fulfill the needs if you don't live in an HOA-based neighborhood. As we leave downtown and travel down Highway 29 out of downtown, we're going to Wolf Ranch, one of the most popular, and I think that's because simply the marketing was just so well done, but it's also because of a lot of the advantages that Wolf Ranch has to other master plan communities. Wolf Ranch is about 2,500 homes. There's a very nice Wolf Ranch shopping center, which has several major anchor stores, and there are about 15 really good restaurants within Wolf Ranch Shopping Center and HEB, but this particular HEB store is so big that it actually has a restaurant inside it. And of course, we're in Texas, so it's a barbecue restaurant. In addition to retail, you also see medical facilities, many apartments in the Wolf Ranch development as well. And as you can see, there are apartments on the edge, and it's the typical development strategy, which makes just a lot of sense. And that is commercial retail on the outer edge, high density residential like the apartments over here, and then the lovely homes within the actual development. And as we move into Wolf Ranch right here, this is called Wolf Ranch Hilltop. One of the reasons it's called Wolf Ranch Hilltop is because many of these homes back up to bluffs and have very nice views across the hill country. Now, most of the styles are kind of similar, but each builder has its own variation of floor plans and styles. Now, I'm going to turn right here real quick just so that you can see that this is a pretty cool center. You've got a pool, you've got playground, and as I mentioned, some of these homes have views across the treetops, which is exactly what you're seeing here. So as I turn in here, you'll see the type of views across the trees. The price range in Wolf Ranch runs from about below 400 to, well, well over $1 million. Now, if you're wondering if there's a golf course in Wolf Ranch, the answer to that is yes and no. You can see that there are creeks running through the Wolf Ranch area. You can see that there are some very large, very spacious homes. And you can see that some of these have views of the golf course, but this is not a golf course accessible in Wolf Ranch. This is the Georgetown Country Club golf course. Now, the Wolf Ranch real estate market as a whole has actually improved based on 25 versus 24 real estate statistics. Wolf Ranch has actually improved. And I'm not saying that it is now a strong market. I'm just saying that it is improving. And I expect that to continue improving. You see, we see about a 7-month supply of homes on the market in Wolf Ranch. Now, just jump back on Austin Avenue, and I'm making a right on Williams Drive. We're going to take Williams Drive right out to Sun City and take a quick tour of Sun City and show you what that offers. And in addition to that, we're going to drive out and take a look at Lake Georgetown. Now, Williams Drive used to be homes, and you can see that along Williams Drive there are homes that have been converted to businesses. And that, of course, makes sense. Nobody really wants to live on a street that is this busy. So as we're traveling down Williams Drive towards Sun City, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick turnoff and show you an established neighborhood. And the established neighborhoods come with a premium. You're going to pay more per square foot for an updated, remodeled home in these neighborhoods. Now, it's not really like the downtown area where you're just seeing home after home after home being remodeled. You are seeing homes remodeled and updated and sold in these neighborhoods, but these neighborhoods were built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and into the 90s. This is what is called Gabriel View. This is one of the premier streets in Georgetown. And you can tell that these houses were built in the 70s and 80s. These homes along here will go for anywhere from typically $1 million to $2 million. But I'm going to go off the street and show you an area that is not quite as high priced. As a matter of fact, it's far more normally priced, if you will. And that area is River Bend. But as I turn here, we're turning off of the river. So these are a normal neighborhood type home, and they are larger than typical lots. They're not what you would see in new neighborhoods like Palmer Ranch and Highland Village and Nolina, where the homes are close together with 5-foot building lines. River Bend does not have a lot of sales. It's a pretty stable neighborhood, and the sales in here will go from the low to mid 4s up to 6 and above. As I mentioned when we started, this is a great place to take a quick break. I wanted to remind you of something real quick. Our buyer relocation guide provides all the details you need regarding the different property types, the parks. All the information that we're talking about on this tour is in that relocation guide. So feel free to download it below. No hassle, no obligation. All right, we just turned off of Williams Drive, and we are going to look at this 1 acre plus neighborhood to kind of give you an idea of what a median priced 1 acre plus neighborhood looks like. But the 1 acre plus average price is well above the typical subdivision call price in Georgetown, Texas. And you can see that they sit well back off the street, which is nice, and there's plenty of space between the houses. You've got the elbow room that everybody seems to want. You do have a lot of trees within the neighborhood. So this particular part of Fountainwood is just a nice lake, and I'm driving it because it tends to offset a pretty good idea of what homes on an acre or more are going to look like in the Georgetown, Texas little state markets. So we left Fountainwood and we are traveling along, it's called Jim Hog Road. So we're actually headed to Lake Georgetown. Many of the homes along this road, although it does carry some traffic, don't tend to mind because they're set back off the road. They're not right on top of the road. And there's really not much traffic along this road. Bottom line is Lake Georgetown is not a large lake, so you're not going to see a lot of traffic along these type of roads. There are actually 3 entrances to Lake Georgetown and camping areas and boating areas. All right, well, I've just entered the park. Now, there's a 26-mile trail around Lake Georgetown. The lake is Army Corps engineer managed, so it is constant level. This isn't an extraordinarily busy area, but it is a nice place to come in, drop your boat and boat for a day. It is a nice little lake where you can enjoy a lot of recreation. And as you can see, there are really no houses along the lake because, again, it is Army Corps engineer managed. The homes way on the other side, maybe you can see, but there are homes that will have views of Lake Georgetown, but there are no homes that have access from the home to Lake Georgetown. And again, the trailhead is here, so you can start your hike right here. we are passing quite a few neighborhoods that are worth mentioning. Deer Haven is on the left. It was built by Dries, and it's a small neighborhood. It's not a master plan community, but beautiful homes recently built. To the right, we have a 1 acre plus neighborhood called Serenata. Serenata is one of the entry-level 1 acre plus neighborhoods, but there are homes being remodeled beautifully there and reaching a little bit higher prices than typical. But you can get a lovely home in Serenata for far less than the average price for an acre or more. And as we travel along again down Williams Drive towards Sun City, we're going to pass several different neighborhoods that I'll just mention. On the left and right, we have 1 acre plus neighborhoods. On the right, we have Australia, and it's one of the few neighborhoods that is in the city of Georgetown with homes on an acre, meaning you don't have a septic tank. We're approaching Wildwood, and just to the right of that are 2 55 plus communities. One is a duplex style 55 plus community with no maintenance required on any of the lawns. And also to the right is what's called Heritage Oaks. It's the second largest 55 plus community in the immediate area, and it is about 430 homes. We are approaching Sun City up on the right. That'll be coming pretty soon. On the left, we have neighborhoods like Lakeside, which is a newer neighborhood. As we approach Sun City, I think I've mentioned already that it is quite expansive and will be 10,500 homes when finished. The HOA fees in Sun City are $158 a month. Now, Sun City was started in the 90s and is still being built. This is the very first section of Sun City that we're approaching right now. I'm actually going to turn in and show you what that looks like because these were original homes. So these are the homes that were built first, and you can tell they really look nice. They don't look like they're in need of repair or deferred maintenance or anything like that. You can see that we have a lot of mature trees. There are many sections of Sun City, and we're going to go look at some of the newer sections as well on this little tour. So the facilities in Sun City are absolutely amazing. There are over 100 clubs in Sun City. If I haven't covered this, there are 3 golf courses. One of the nice things in Sun City is that you can play at all 3. Now, they used to let people play golf in Sun City who did not live in Sun City, but that's not the case anymore. Now, as I drive along here, you're going to see some of the facilities. There are a lot of facilities that Sun City offers to its residents. It is really pretty amazing. So I'm just going to take a quick jaunt through a newer section to kind of give you an idea of some of the newer sections of Sun City and what they look like. There are homes in Sun City that will range from about 1,000 square feet to over 3,000 square feet. So Fairway Oaks was the name of that section, and it is neighborhood number 23. Over here we have Oak Grove Estates, and that is neighborhood number 21. I'm going to turn into this area and just kind of show you a little bit newer section of Sun City and show you kind of what the housing looks like compared to the more established areas that we have already seen. This is neighborhood 44, Canyon Creek Estates. I think you can see why it's called Canyon Creek as we travel here. But you can see the homes look a little bit newer, and that's because they are. And there is a little bit less in the way of mature trees, but there are still quite a few. So as far as Sun City is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and move on to another area of Georgetown. And again, look for a complete detailed Sun City tour, and it will be far more detailed than what we just went over. So when we left Sun City, we traveled across Ronald Reagan Boulevard and headed back east on Highway 29. But we're going to make a quick stop in Cimarron Hills. Cimarron Hills is one of the true luxury communities in Georgetown. As a matter of fact, it's often considered the definitive luxury community in Georgetown, Texas. And as you can probably see, the homes are quite large. When this neighborhood started on half-acre lots, it had a hard time getting going because these were very large footprints, very large homes on half-acre lots. And half-acre seems like a lot, but homes this size didn't leave a lot of room for extras. So a lot of these purchasers bought 2 lots to put their homes on, so they were on an acre. Cimarron Hills is home to everything from townhomes starting in the $600,000 to $700,000 range, all the way up to very large homes ranking up there in size to some of the largest in Georgetown. And we'll hit that $2 million, well over $2 million price range. So we're going to turn into the 3D printed neighborhood, built by Lennar, by the way. I think I might have already mentioned that. But the look of the homes is a little bit different. I don't know if you can tell from here that the walls, all the exterior interior walls, were constructed by the 3D printer. And then, of course, windows, doors, cabinetry, all that was added. I think it'll be interesting, of course, to see how the resale performance does as time goes by, because there are some differences in the way these homes were built and the way of room sizes and garage sizes and things like that. If you're thinking about buying a home in Georgetown, Texas, or moving up here from Austin, and you need some help choosing the right pocket, there's a link in the description below. Schedule a quick call. We'll map out the best neighborhoods for your lane, and I'll tell you what buyers are doing in that exact price range right now, so you can move forward with a positive plan. I'm Stuart Sutton. I've been helping buyers relocate into Georgetown and within Georgetown for over 3 decades. And that includes a 55+ community, Sun City and the others, 1 acre plus areas, new homes, established areas, and the famous downtown historic section. I'll break down what's happening to you in those specific pockets so you can buy with confidence and avoid the mistakes that really cost people later.